California dreaming. I could think about that, corny as it was. I used to think about that song.
Miss Hollywood, when I see a film crew, go, oh, I want to be there.
There they go, there they go.
Outside, you don't have no shelter.
The people in the doorway.
You have to watch your back all the time.
Everybody on the planet has a right to shelter. Dome, what did you call it?
Dome spheres. They bolt together in 21 pieces.
Those are the domes.
Dome check.
I'm here. Thank the Lord.
Justice, justice.
This is what we're talking about. It's right here. This does not have to be.
When people think about Los Angeles, they think about Hollywood, movie stars, money, glamour, but there is this other very sort of tragic side to Los Angeles, which is that it has a huge homeless population. Okay, but this is very important right here. We went to Los Angeles to spend 6 weeks at a place called Dome Village.
Dome Village is a facility that offers transitional housing for homeless people. It's a place where someone can come off the street and live in a safe, clean environment and try to get their life back together.
I see homeless people every day. I walk by them, but they've pretty much become part of the urban landscape for me. So when I heard about Dome Village, that there is a place for homeless people to rebuild their lives, I wanted to go and see what it was all about.
Dome Village.
Hello, may I help you? I'm Kathy.
We are headed off to the Dome Village.
You're going to have to get the harbor south.
I'm very curious to see this place.
We've heard about this place, but apparently it's just it's a parking lot with strange igloo-like fiberglass domes.
If you get lost, just call. All right, bye. Like I know where I am. No.
We've always said that if the Dome Village is to be built, it has to be built in downtown LA. And people said it was crazy, it never happened because the odds were against us. And we're here.
When I first got to Dome Village, what struck me the most was how peaceful and quiet it was. It's like a mini utopia in the middle of downtown Los Angeles.
It's called thinning and harvesting at the same time.
It's a clean, green environment full of these structural oddities. It was started as an experiment, and really the goal here is to help people get off the streets and get back their lives.
Time to watch the dome.
People come here from shelters, from the streets, from under bridges. They come here to seek shelter and have a place where they can rebuild their lives.
We've been living like this for the last 4 years against the odds, and we've been very successful. We've proved our point that it can be done.
The founder of Dome Village is homeless activist Ted Hayes. 13 years ago, he left his home and his family to go live on the streets to be among the people that he's fighting for.
Good morning. Getting my morning exercise.
Do this every day?
Yeah, every other day if I can. 2 or 3 hours. Try to stay young, focused, healthy.
Dome Village is just a model for Ted's larger vision, a national plan to end homelessness. But the initial momentum is stalled, media attention has died down, and he's tired. Unless he's able to get more political and financial support, he's considering closing it all down.
This was intended to be a catalyst for a movement that would ultimately begin the process of breaking the homeless cycle through empowering homeless people. But we haven't had the political support to make it happen.
Most of the residents here are on general relief, or GR as they call it. GR is on average about $212 a month, and of that they pay a third, or about $70 towards their Dome Village fees.
Who is the friend that told you about this place?
Kathy is basically the person that keeps the Dome Village ticking on a day-to-day basis.
No medical problems for real?
I think that Ted is sort of grooming her to become the next kind of leader of, or person in charge of Dome Village.
We planted some fruit trees last week.
Oh, my.
So this is some more of the garden. I don't know what they're doing because I'm not a garden person.
Okay.
I just like to eat.
Yeah, okay.
So once the residents have paid their dome fees of about $70, their general relief checks leave them about $4 or $5 a day for all their expenses. Some of the residents collect cans or do some outside jobs to supplement their income.
Are you into recycle?
Well, somewhat, yeah, cans and stuff.
Okay, well just don't step on my turf.
Oh, okay.
Kathy gave a tour to a new applicant today. It's part of the intake process and will help her decide whether or not to let this woman in.
For me,
Well, I might just help
if you
you out,
recycle,
you know?
just go on and keep yours.
It was Chester, one of the residents, who brought Gwendolyn here, and he's anxious to see her get in.
The only thing that's not complete is this wall.
Oh, okay.
So when you, like she have her TV on and you have yours on, it might clash. Right now we trying to get some material and stuff to fill these walls in.
I'm not going to ask you a question because you might not know just like I don't know. But I'm going to throw something at you right quick. Why isn't it that they make more of these for all those people that's downtown that's on Skid Row?
You can't get enough money to do it.
Oh.
That's the problem. Like this is just an experiment.
Oh, okay.
So he's been experimenting for like 4 years, 5 years.
Oh,
So it's still things that have to be straightened out here really before some more can go up.
okay.
And more money.
Apparently her application has been approved, and Gwendolyn is very excited to be coming, and she'll be moving in a couple of days.
All the money that comes in here is from private donations.
Dome Village is transitional, which means residents only stay for 90 days. While it's an experience that starts with hope, whether or not they can adjust to life off the streets is the biggest question.
And I really appreciate you taking out the time and helping me.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah. Okay.
And you caught me on a good day. I'm not nice all the time.
Oh, I can understand that.
I'm glad you can, because some people think I'm supposed to be nice all the time.
Really.
Even though Chester and Gwendolyn just met, you can already feel the chemistry between them.
In the event that something comes up
Uh-huh.
and you decide that you're not going to come here,
I'm going to
call me.
I will be
You
here.
might get rich or find a rich man and he take you somewhere.
Girl, please.
Just call me so I know.
I've been dreaming that dream.
You never know what you might stumble up on these days.
Oh, my God. Okay, I will. Thank you. She said I'm going to get rich.
Yeah,
Let's pray on that.
Okay.
From our lips to God's ears. That would be nice. But it was nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you. I'll see you on Sunday when you move
Okay,
in.
I'll be here Sunday.
All right, take care.
The staff at Dome Village work hard to protect their safe community.
If they turn out to be a mental case is what I'm talking about.
But dangers that threaten the serenity lie right outside the gates.
Get yourself up and go to work.
Right now there are about, I think, 4 or 5 vacant spots here at Dome Village, and it's interesting because just around the corner there are homeless people living underneath the highway, the freeway, and I'm wondering why is it that they don't come here?
Ted just pointed this person out to me that's sleeping right across the street or right across the parking lot from the Dome Village. He said that the guy's been there for a couple of nights. I hadn't even noticed him. And he said that also eventually the residents are going to ask him to leave because the Dome Village has an agreement with the neighborhood that they won't attract this type of thing.
Get yourself up and go to work. Duh. Wake up and go to work. What time is it? What time is it?
It's like 3 o'clock.
It's 3 o'clock. You better get up and get that recycle.
You're in the way.
Oh, I'm in the way. He'll talk to you.
My name is Earl.
Oh, so you know Kathy?
The lady there? It was there?
Yeah.
Basically, yes.
Although the residents of Dome Village have gotten off the streets, every day they're faced with the reality of where they just come from or where they could be.
The most frightening thing before I was evicted was being homeless. I wasn't afraid of getting jumped on or whooped. Afraid of being homeless. Being, you know, oh my God, what's it gonna do now?
So you're happy?
I've never been happy in my life. I don't expect to be happy. I gotta go.
Where are you going?
I'm going to get some money.
Where?
out of a trash can. No overhead.
What we've been learning from Ted is that not all homeless people want to get off the streets. Some would rather stay out there, choosing to live by their own rules.
All right.
Good luck. Bye.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen. No. Ladies and gentlemen. This is not a shelter. It's not a mission. We're not going to hold your hand. We're not going to babysit you. We look at you as equal grown adults.
After only a few days, it was clear to us that Dome Village can only help people who are willing to help themselves. And the intake process is designed to weed out those who won't make it.
When they come to that gate, even though they might be messed up, they will straighten up. But if they find that we're loose, they can play one off against the other and all that kind of stuff, they're going to wreak havoc. That's what we're dealing with out in the streets.
Then we let him in, and then he turns out to be a psycho. Right. This has happened several times.
I tell them, we don't have a space at the moment, there is a waiting list, so if you want to fill out an application and come back, maybe Monday.
So I go to Kathy.
Yes.
Now what happens? What happens, Kathy? I come to you now.
This?
What?
This what I'm doing.
Kathy came here after being homeless for one night, and she, along with Virginia and Mike, are the 3 paid resident staff members at Dome Village.
I can't stay here? I like this place.
We like it too. That's why we
want to keep it.
For the residents and staff of Dome Village, the intake process is all that stands between their home and the streets. If the staff makes a mistake and lets the wrong person in, they put the residents and themselves at risk.
That doesn't matter if they can't live by Dome Village guidelines.
Right away they got, what do you call sweaty time?
If they turn out to be a mental case is what I'm talking about.
There's a couple of mental cases here.
But we're not like them, Virginia.
You're gonna miss some of them. But then if you miss, it makes you that much sharper for the next time.
A man named Shamsuddin, who is staying at a nearby shelter in Skid Row, came today to see if there's a place for him at Dome Village.
Is that from his first intake interview, Ted?
I'm not sure. I'm tracing it down now, see what's going on.
Ted decided to meet with Shamsuddin, the new applicant, to make the final decision as to whether he would be appropriate for the Dome Village.
Can we do this without the camera, please?
Ted asked Shamsuddin a lot of questions. I think that he was trying to find out how mentally stable he was, and Shamsuddin held his own and even cracked a couple of jokes. And at the end of the meeting, Ted told him that he was on a 2-week probation period.
So how do you feel?
I feel great.
Wait, we got to come up with some kind of understanding on your name.
How about Shabba Dabba Doo?
Because you got 6, pronounce that.
Shamsuddin.
Shamsuddin.
Yes.
Shamsuddin is starting to experience the culture shock of life off the streets.
Better take it one day at a time.
And Ted shows us what it's like to live in the underbelly of LA.
This should not be in Los Angeles.
Where are you from?
I'm from Independent. I'm just independent. I was a homeless person myself.
You want information on here for what reason?
Dome Village seems to have a way of attracting people to it, whether it's people coming here looking for a place to live, or people just interested in the community.
Could you hold on like a minute? I gotta take care of this and I'll be there.
Okay, sure.
A woman came here today called Deborah Cornell. She's formerly homeless. She was on the street for 5 years and was a drug addict. And she's interested now in becoming a homeless advocate.
God, if it can happen to me at 33 and I have no job skills and I don't know what to do, then I can imagine how people out there with families, you know, children feel.
Ted seems to act as an emotional magnet. People show up on his doorstep all the time. And even though Deborah made it off the streets on her own, she's still drawn to Ted and his vision.
And I just got off the streets recently, like 2 months ago. And
You want to become an activist?
yes, I do.
Now?
Yes, I do. The government has lied to us. We have been manipulated through the TV, no offense, through the TV, through books, through what we see. We're bombarded as children when we go out into the world. We lose that innocence that's within us.
The reason why I want you to contact Bob Erlingbush and talk with people at LASA so you can get a better understanding of what the economic situation, what homelessness is in Los Angeles. But let me say, if you're going to be an activist, that's where you would start.
Okay.
Deborah is just one of the thousands to be caught in the cycle of homelessness. In fact, Ted says only 3% of these people ever break back into the mainstream.
Nice meeting you.
It was very nice meeting you. Can I have a hug?
Sure you can.
Thank you, brother.
So I'm wondering if she'll be one who will make it.
That's what more people need to do. I will.
Shamsuddin, whose name is causing quite a problem here at the Dome Village because no one, apart from him, can say it or remember it, arrived today. Do you believe you're here now?
Yeah, I believe I'm here now. What I did inside.
Shamsuddin is now settling into his half of the dome, and he really seems to love it here. He's taking a lot of pride and care in furnishing his dome with what he can find in the storage dome.
Gotta take it one day at a time.
Yeah. Well, good luck. I hope your stay works out for you. Okay, Shamsuddin.
Justice, 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 justice. And it was ringing.
Oh, El Nino's coming.
El Nino is here, and buckets of rain have just been falling from the sky. I can't believe how much water is continuing to fall. I mean, it's crazy. But Ted wanted to take us out and show us what happens around Skid Row when it rains like this.
Put people in doorways. This should not be in Los Angeles. When you're living on the streets of downtown Los Angeles, you are living the primordial state of human existence. The thing that drives people crazy, I realized by living down here, was the contrast of living like a third world country right in the midst of all of this power, all this opulence.
Seeing Skid Row at night with Ted gave me a completely different perspective. It's just something that I've never seen before. Encampments along the sides of the streets with tarp-covered boxes where I knew people were inside of, but also knowing that Ted was one of those people, and he still keeps that close to his heart.
To put us in the reign of the human rights violation, and we'd really stand on that. This is not just a civil rights issue, this is a human rights violation, and according to the United Nations, everybody on the planet has a right to shelter, especially in foul weather like this. We used to go down underneath, we discovered that the parking garages underneath here were very warm and dry, and we tried to get the city to open them up, and they wouldn't do it. So, okay, fine, the people are going to die. They said, yeah, they laughed, and sure enough, the next day, found out that 4 people had died from hypothermia. Plus, the biggest teacher and influence in my life was Jesus, was homeless. He was a homeless person. He lived out here with the people. He wasn't riding around some big fine, let's cross over. Some big fine chariot. I mean, he was homeless, man, all day.
You seem to be reliving his glory days of activism, and even though those days are past, he won't let anyone forget what it took to build Dome Village.
I remember many nights in situations like this when I would sit on the curb or in my shack or in my box or under my tent and think, you know, I gotta get this through. This can't go on. I've gotta make it happen. Gotta stick with it.
Things are looking good for Chester, who can't wait to have Gwendolyn move into the village.
This year.
But we're learning that the stability here is always at a delicate balance.
So he scammed us, and this is what I be trying to bring to your attention.
Man, missed church service today.
You did?
Yeah, I was waiting on a friend. You know, she's moving in here, you know.
Gwendolyn, one of the newest intakes at Dome Village, is moving in today, and Chester seems really excited about this.
There she is.
I lived downtown for 6 months, and it wasn't a nice thing for me to do.
What was it like?
Very scary. For a lady.
Hey Gwen.
Hi.
This is John.
Hi, John.
That's Gwen.
How you doing?
Gwen gonna be the new resident, so be nice.
Oh, I'm always nice.
I had to live on the street. I lived in vacant houses and vacant cars in the park.
How cute!
It's so pretty.
I watched them and everything. You want to see this TV?
Yeah, come on, Chester, let's go. Come on, you can come.
Yeah, you feeling much better now.
Yeah, I feel better. Chester, you feel like hearing that from me?
Anytime you must.
I'd appreciate it.
What was it that you liked about her?
What I liked about her is when I seen her, is that she had a beautiful spirit. Okay.
Okay, we're gonna go get us a sandwich and we're gonna come back and talk to y'all later.
Okay. So how's it going with Gwendolyn? Yeah?
Smoke.
Smoke?
Smoke.
For every resident who makes it, another will fail. Right after Gwendolyn moved in, Shamsuddin moved out. And the aftermath of Shamsuddin's leaving was still felt at that night's village meeting.
You know, just like a certain person today, would rather, because they can't have it quite their way, they would rather leave this, what modest bit of a shelter over their head it is, to go out into the rain.
How do you know he's out in the rain?
I don't know.
But I know, but that's what you just said.
Yeah, because when he left here, it didn't seem like he was going anywhere.
Shamsuddin said he wasn't on general relief when he got here, but Kathy thinks Shamsuddin's a scam artist who's just biding his time till his GR check comes in. This is the kind of thing they see all the time here.
So he scammed us, and this is what I be trying to bring to your attention from day one.
Every time a resident doesn't make it, it chips away at the viability of Ted's plan and adds to his mounting skepticism. He's even been talking about closing Doe Village once and for all.
I'm assuming he's going to the rain.
Homelessness and living on the street and gang. That man is not on the street. Trust me.
Those kinds of setbacks, combined with the lack of political support and money, has brought the Dome Village experiment to a standstill, and it seems like time is running out.
Next on Eyewitness.
2 cans of Ajax, 149.
As we move into our second week at the village, we find out there's a serious financial crisis going on.
Nobody can complain that I have the money ready to go.
And stress levels are on the rise.
Checks from grants and people sending us money to keep alive.
Ted's frustration is compounding.
This is not going too good.
To the point where he's considering the unthinkable.
I would rather close this. To me, it's not worth it.
And we're all wondering how this will affect Gwendolyn.
One day he'll buy the food, next day I'll buy the food.
Who's begun something of a courtship with Chester.
One day we'll get together and cook, sometime we'll just eat cold cuts.